Imagine waking up tomorrow. Fuel prices suddenly exploding. Flights becoming more expensive, markets panicking, governments rushing into emergency meetings, and all of it happening because one narrow waterway suddenly stops working. Sounds impossible? Not really, because this place exists, and it has the power to affect economies across the planet. This is the Strait of Hormuz, a tiny passage on the map, yet one of the most important waterways on Earth. At first glance, it doesn't look special. Just a narrow strip of water between Iran and Oman. But appearances can be deceiving. Every single day, giant oil tankers pass through this route, carrying energy supplies to countries around the world. This narrow passage connects the Persian Gulf to the open sea, making it one of the busiest and most important shipping routes on the planet. In simple words, the modern world depends on what passes through here. A massive portion of the world's oil trade moves through this tiny corridor. Cars, factories, airlines, entire economies, all connected in one way or another to this narrow stretch of water. Now imagine this for a moment. Think of the Strait of Hormuz like a giant highway. But instead of cars, it carries energy. The fuel that powers homes, industries, transportation, and economies. And when something threatens this route, the entire world pays attention. Because even fear can trigger consequences. Oil prices begin reacting. Financial markets become nervous. Shipping companies start watching every movement. Governments monitor the situation closely. Why? Because disruption here doesn't stay local. Its effects travel far beyond the Middle East, and this is exactly why the Strait of Hormuz keeps appearing in global headlines. For decades, this waterway has remained one of the world's most sensitive geopolitical pressure points. Whenever tensions rise in the region, people begin asking the same question: what happens if this route closes? Now imagine the unthinkable: ships unable to pass, oil supplies disrupted, fuel prices rising, transport costs increasing, inflation spreading across economies, and ordinary people feeling the impact in everyday life. The cost of fuel rises. Travel becomes expensive. Food and goods become more costly to transport. All because one strategic passage suddenly stops functioning. That's what makes the Strait of Hormuz so fascinating. It may look small on a map, but its importance is enormous. One narrow waterway, yet billions of lives are connected to it. And that is why the entire world watches it so closely. Because sometimes, the smallest places can shape the biggest events. If you enjoy hidden history, geopolitics, and untold stories shaping our world, subscribe to Chroniclesphere History Hub, because history doesn't always stay in the past. Sometimes, it shapes tomorrow.